Have you ever heard an old song, put on an old jacket, watched something nostalgic, or seen a certain aesthetic, and suddenly remembered a version of yourself that felt more alive? I've been thinking about that a lot lately. There's been a recent Calvin Klein collaboration campaign floating around online lately. Motorcycles, denim, cinematic lighting, movement, freedom, and the whole retro Americana energy. And honestly, it hit me emotionally in a way I didn't fully expect. But I realized it wasn't really about the clothes. It was about remembering a feeling. It reminded me of a version of myself that felt adventurous, expressive, energized, curious, spontaneous, emotionally awake. And I think that's why certain aesthetics hit people so deeply sometimes. Not because we want to go backwards in life, but because certain things reconnect us to parts of ourselves we accidentally left behind. I have my motorcycle license. I haven't ridden in years. And seeing some of that imagery again made me laugh because I thought, wow, that part of me still exists somewhere. And honestly, I don't even think it's about the motorcycle itself. I think it's about reconnecting with energy. I think adulthood slowly pulls a lot of people away from the parts of themselves that once felt most alive. I think parts of ourselves we lose touch with over time. The adventurous parts, the curious parts, the parts willing to try new things. And some of that retro freedom inspired imagery again reminded me of those parts of me that still exist somewhere. We tend to become responsible, practical, exhausted, overwhelmed, productive, efficient. But somewhere along the way, a lot of people stop feeling emotionally connected to their own lives. Not because they failed, not because they're lazy, but because survival mode slowly replaces aliveness. And I think that's why nostalgia feels so emotional sometimes. Because it's not just about missing a time period, it's about remembering who you were during that time. The music you loved, the clothes you wore, the dreams you had, the confidence you carried, the energy you moved through the world with. And I don't think growth means we have to abandon all of that. I think version 2.0 of ourselves can still reconnect with what version 1.0 loved. That doesn't mean going backwards. It means integrating the best parts forward. So I'm definitely not the same person I used to be. I'm more intentional now, more reflective, more grounded, probably wiser too. But I also think there are parts of myself I want to reconnect with: creativity, adventure, confidence, movement, curiosity, excitement, and expression. And I think a lot of people feel that right now. So maybe rebranding yourself doesn't mean becoming fake. It's asking, what made me feel alive? What energized me? What made me expressive? What parts of myself have I neglected? And what environments bring out the best in me? And maybe reconnecting to those is actually part of healing. Sometimes it's music, lighting, clothing, movement, creativity, travel, hobbies, communities, routines. Tiny things can completely shift your emotional environment. And I think people underestimate how deeply environment affects identity. So if there's something from your past that still lights something up inside you, maybe that part of you isn't dead. Maybe it's waiting to be reintroduced into your life again. And maybe becoming your next version isn't about erasing who you used to be. Maybe it's about reconnecting with the parts that made you feel most alive and carrying them forward more intentionally. I think a lot of people need that reminder right now.